up, people? This is Thursday, August 8th, and we're getting into the second day of school, and we're going to find out about all the fun things that go in here. Hi, home children. Those of you who are already homesick and dead, hopefully you come back to life. Let's see, from here we're going to go, we'll talk about that. So, schedule today was the exact same as yesterday. Normally on Thursdays we have best, which is like your guys' sharp time, but you guys had sharp time, you had to do like band and orchestra and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Here, our best is like just homework. It's just a chance, not like giving you homework, but like a study hall to get homework done. So it's just twice a week, Tuesdays, Thursdays, half hour with your 7th period teacher. Hopefully you don't hate your 7th period teacher, because twice a week you get to spend an extra half hour with them. And so we're not going to start that till next week. We thought this might be a little overwhelming trying to mix up the schedule this first week, so we're just going to sort of keep it normal. But you have 6th and 7th period after this. Continued goals. Hopefully your judgment of teachers went well yesterday, and you got some good teacher judging in. As you got a chance to go through, you figured out which ones of us are old, which ones of us are grumpy, which ones of us are both. And then you got a chance to do that. I did some good judging of you guys, and actually had a pretty good day. Your guys' group so far this year, I didn't really have to yell at very many kids. I think 2 at the most. I normally have to yell like 9 or 10 kids, so I was pretty happy. I got to go home yesterday in a pretty good mood, so I was happy. Which means I don't have to eat any kids' souls yet today. And so far, kids have been pretty decent today too, so it is winning. We're going to talk about the homeworks in just a moment to see how well you're doing with all of that. Did you guys do well with lunchroom?
Yeah.
Oh, and the seats are not locked in. Like, let's say today you meet a kid in 7th period and you're like, oh, that kid's my new friend. And then you find out you both have a lunch together. You can move seats to go sit next to new friend. Sometime next week, they're going to start locking you in and not letting you move seats as much. But for now, you can still move around and figure out where you want to sit. All right, so we're going to do a little responsibility thing for you guys. Home children, I'm getting ready to give them a piece of paper. When you come back to life, we're going to hook you up with the same piece of paper. You guys, I'm going to give you a piece of paper now. What's the first thing you should do with a piece of paper? Good job, one brave kid. You're supposed to write your name on it when you get it. Write your first and your last name on it, even if you have a name like Penelope that no one else has because your name is awesome. Still put first and last name on it, because if you don't put last name on it, you give me permission to attack you. So put first and last just to make things easier. I'm also going to have you pass them back. So if you're here in the front like Connor is, you're going to just take it and pass it backwards. Don't go sideways, because this makes my life much easier. Then write name on it. Those of you who are responsible, this is a piece of paper you're actually going to want to keep the entire year, because the back side of it has directions on how not to die in my class. Some of you are going to want to not die.
Okay.
Others of you are already kind of emotionally dead, so you can't tell, but we'll walk you through it here in a moment. Oh, also, the video. When you guys go home and talk to the big people in your house, and you have the conversation and you tell them about how crazy I am, and you're like, my English teacher, I think he's insane. And they go, no, dear, no one's that crazy. You can go show them the video. And you can just show them the video, and they can be like, oh no, that guy has issues. And that way you actually have video proof of all that, because when I record class, this is the exact same way as when I normally teach. I don't act any different. Unless a parent is watching this, and then I am perfectly normal. And nothing unusual happens. In fact, I can't even keep a straight face. So here is the paper that you guys get. Put your name on it. We'll walk you guys through that here in just a moment to help you out. So, responsibility. Who already has notebook that you could show me today if I asked? I'm not asking today. I was just saying if you had it. So you guys just get I know you get a chance to flex on that one. All right. How many of you already have your picture printed out on that one? Less of you. All right. Let's. Ooh. So, creepers online. I'm getting ready to say kids' names. I know. But you don't get to see their faces, so you can't come after them. But I am getting ready to call on you. And we're going to see how well things do. We're going to see how well information stayed in your head from yesterday to today. It's going to be all kinds of fun. into my heart. Kendall, thank you very much. So Kendall, we'll let you go first. That's very brave of you. Kendall, what day is the notebook officially due?
Friday.
Whatever you answer, I need confidence and strength. Don't give me a question back because I'm old and every kid knows old people are dumb and know nothing. So you need to speak to me with authority and confidence. And you said what day?
Monday.
Monday. Look at that. Much better answer on that one. It's like Friday, but later. And so Monday is when it officially comes due. Itzel, thank you for volunteering also. That was very kind of you. Oh, by the way, if you didn't know, I don't usually do the hand-raising thing. I just look into your hearts, and your hearts tell me who wants to volunteer. The trick is, oftentimes your heart and your head don't talk to each other. And your heart volunteers you, and your head's like, what's wrong with you? So I just look into your heart to know who wants to volunteer. Itzel's heart was definitely speaking to me. Thank you, dear. Let's say you don't have a notebook at home. You could bring one shiny dollar in. And how could you get a notebook here at school with a shiny dollar?
The bookstore.
Shh, you're not Itzel. I mean, you're also adorable, but you look slightly different. Itzel?
I could give it to you or go to the bookstore.
Nice. Oh, you took care of my second question. Oh, good job, Itzel. You could also go to the bookstore, or you could come to me, and either. Oh, don't worry. I have more questions coming. Not for you. Your heart's done talking to me. But it's okay, because Addie's heart was really excited that she got a chance to step in, and I don't want to make Addie unhappy. Addie, let's say that for whatever reason that you don't have a notebook at home, and you don't have a shiny dollar at home, what is it that a kid could bring in to give me from their parents, and I would still be nice to them?
A note?
Is correct. You could bring me a note, and that would work for me at the same time. I'd find that. Omar, let's go to our next question on that one. So, Omar, what day is the picture of you due?
Friday?
Are you asking me? I'm old. I don't know.
It's Friday.
Is correct. Good job. Friday. Mason, what day is Friday? Is correct. Just so you're like, the reason I asked is I have kids going, it's not due until Friday. And that's like the end of the, I'm like, tomorrow's Friday. So just so you're aware, it's not due till Friday, but that's like in 23 hours. So just so we're aware of when that comes due on that. Oh, we're not done yet. Let's go with Mohammed.
No.
What is the youngest age a kid can be in the picture they bring in? Is correct. The day you were born and popped into this world. I would definitely accept that one too. Adrian, you seem so excited. Your heart is so loud, it's going through your hands. Adrian, let's go with, we did that one, did that one. Oh, Adrian, if your parents try to take a picture of you and it keeps breaking the camera, what is it your parents could send in instead of a picture and have me still be nice to you?
A note.
Is correct. Well done. You can just bring in the note on that one and we're good to go there. I think those were all the things we covered on that one. All right. Don't worry. Those of you who are upset because you feel your heart was speaking to me and I didn't call on you, it's okay. There's more coming. I'm still going to get a chance to call on some of you here in just a second. That one. Ooh. See? I told you it was still coming. Like Brinley. Hi, Brinley. Brinley, who is the locker god at our school?
You.
It is me. Thank you, Brinley. Celeste, if we don't want the locker god to attack us when we can't get into our lockers, where should our locker combination be?
On an iPad on the birthday.
Okay, good job, Celeste. All right, good, and then the birthday, and then there, and then, ooh, do I have anyone that I can, I've already picked on that kid. I can't, no one else for me to pick on that I was looking at the iPads, but everyone else has the different iPads from there, and I've already picked on Addie, and her heart's already spoken to me, so. Again, Addie, we'll pick on you for a moment just because you have the, if you lose your iPad, how can I connect this iPad back to you to make sure it's yours?
There's a name on it?
Nice, well done. Make sure your name or face is on it. Ooh. If not, if Addie, and I'll open this up to anyone that feels brave, if Addie's picture is not on her iPad or her name is not there, how do we find out it's going to be Addie's iPad?
You have to look through our photos.
There you go. We get to go, not me personally, we get to go through your pictures together because that makes it that much more awkward and embarrassing in case that special picture shows up when you're like, it's like, ah! And so I'll help you out there. All right, there. Ooh, did you guys notice locker tails as you guys been walking down through the hallways and stuff like that? Yeah, me too. There's been the greatest stuff on that one. Sophia too. You're Sophia 1. That's Sophia 2. Oh, you get excited. Sophia 2? So you're Sophia the 1st. That'd be a great name for a cartoon. Sophia 2, it's been a long day. If your locker tail gets caught in the bottom locker, how will the locker god free you? Is correct. The little snippy, snippery, and we get a chance to free you and help you out from there. And unless you're on the bottom, if you're on the bottom, we don't care about you. You already knew that because you're on the bottom locker. And you're like, I'm already sad. Ooh. Did this help you guys after yesterday?
No. Yes, it did not help.
For some of you, there is no help. But for others of you, hopefully we learned how to look up and see the signs. Did you guys notice the kids that don't know the signs? You see like the kids just wandering, like running down a hallway and then coming back? Did any of you help another kid?
No.
No, you're horrible children.
You're horrible.
Did you all just like sit back there and just watch it happen? Goodness gracious, kids nowadays.
You do that.
I do. I told you guys how to find it. I don't do that. I only make fun of kids that have issues. Which is
that's
obviously
their issue.
none of you. You guys are all issue. Oh, look around. So here, we get to this with you guys. You're on the Heroes team, and you guys are all the special ones. Are you guys finding out that your friends are Globetrotters and stars?
My sister
Sadly.
my sister was a
I'm
Globetrotter.
sorry to hear that. Did you go home and tell her that you're the better kid?
Yeah.
Nicely done. So yeah, on this one, hopefully you bonded with some of you guys now have what we call ex-friends because you found out that they're not a hero and you're like, sorry. If you have a Globetrotter friend, has anyone patted their Globetrotter friend on the head? If not, they get them so mad. They get like, and it's like, it's so much fun in the door. You get little pats on the head and stuff like that. Don't do it to the Stars kids because Stars kids, again, they're like little puppies. You don't want to make them mad. They're going to like chew your shoelaces. But Globetrotter kids, they're fun to taunt. That's why they exist. And there. Ooh. Do you remember what international team I stole this from? You can just tell me. Nicely done. Just making sure the Barcelona. And
That's
who's this?
you.
Good job, Adrian. You look really excited on that one. Oh, I get to give you a good thing. Here's where your writing utensil comes in again.
Yippee.
I'm going to give you a hall pass that you get to use in my class, Nellie's class, and Bush's class. And you get to use this to either go to your locker or go to Tinkletown or something like that. Don't make me explain Tinkletown. With this one, I highly recommend you write your name on it again first and last because look around. There are other kids here who are not responsible. And the irresponsible kids will lose theirs and then try to steal yours. If you put your name on it, they can't use it. Even if they cross your name out and write Bobby above it, I know you think that teachers are dumb, some of us are, but we're not that dumb. We can figure out that it doesn't belong to that kid. If you don't write your name on it and you lose it, you're just out of luck. Pass these back. Don't try to steal them. Daniel may stab you in the spine. We don't want that. No one likes to do spine stabbing.
Can you give me two?
No, 2 spine stabbings? Nah. Usually just 1 spine stabbing's enough. You can't feel the second one. Because you're grappled. You say Washington? You can try. Nobody's going to stab you right in the back of the head. I'm going to support her.
Michigan State.
Michigan State. Home children. This is what we're talking about. I have one saved for you when you come back to life. And then we can be good to go. We're going to talk about that in just a moment. I got to write this kid's name on it. And 5th period. All right, put this over here. So the way this works. 1, write first and last name on it. The reason being is I won't let you use it if you don't write your last name on it. I will just make fun of you and make you have to write both first and last name to try and help you out. On this one, you get to use this if you're in my class or social studies or science and you need to say go get something from your locker because responsibility is a bit of a struggle for you, or if you need to go to the restroom and you want to go to visit Tinkletown, which someone can explain to Adrian later, you can use this to leave and then come back. It lasts the entire year. Even though it says first 9 weeks, that's just when I'm giving it to you. It does not expire until the end of May. So if you're one of those kids that's responsible and you can hold on to this, you could use it like in February. Now, the good news is I'm going to give you another one in the next 9 weeks. You're going to get a total of 4 sets of these because you get a new one each 9 weeks as the year goes along. Now, Brian was nice enough to volunteer because some of you don't know what month the next 9 weeks begins. And Brian's going to tell you what month the next 9 weeks begins. And because my heart is full of love, I'm even going to give Brian a hint. Brian is one of the 12 months.
That's
So
a good hint.
Okay, fine. I'll even give you another hint.
No, don't.
It's not June or July. Okay. And so,
That's a
the
really
worst
good
that happens, Brian, is you give the wrong answer. So, what month does the next 9 weeks happen?
October.
That's correct, actually. Nicely done. So, you don't get another one until October. Some of you are not very responsible, and you're going to lose this today. I know that because I've already found several on my floor today. If you lose it, you don't get another one ever. Not like, you get another one in October, but I don't replace this one. If you come up to me and go, Mr. Brovicast, I didn't get one the first day, you're a liar because I just gave it to you. I kept track of all of them. If you lose it, come tell me. I'm not going to give you one. I just will laugh at you and make fun of you, but it makes my day. Just like it's going to make my day to crush Adrian in a moment, because for some reason you think your voice is as good as mine. Man, it's not. So, come tell me, and then I can try to laugh at you and make you a better person. We can help you out from there. You're going to want to put this somewhere where you're not going to lose it. And somewhere where you have access to it in both English, social studies, and science. So like if you put it in like just a folder for my class, that doesn't help you unless you take my folder to all of your classes. If you have like a pencil pouch, or if you have the back side of your iPad, that could definitely work. You could put it in your phone case, but you can't get out your phone, and I get to take it from you, and it would be like the best trick ever. But that's up to you. But hopefully keep it somewhere safe. Oh, also, those of you who are responsible, if you get till October and you don't use it, I give you a prize. The more blank lines you have, the better prize you can get. So some of you will use like 2 of the 3 lines. You get like a little baby one. And then some of you guys are responsible enough to not use any of the lines. You get a bigger prize. And you can also save it until later in the year. I'm big on trying to teach you guys choices and responsibility. And so this is my ways of trying to make you guys a better person. Home children, when you come back to life, I'll have yours for you. It's already set aside, it has your name on it and stuff like that. That way other kids can't try to steal it from you. Not that anyone here would try that. Ooh, let's talk about attacking kids. So, tardies. From what I understand, Sand Creek had tardies last year. And tardies like when you show up late to class, but it depended kind of on what team you were on, like 6-1 or 650 or whatever the different numbers were. They're pretty strict on tardies here. The difference is every teacher has a slightly different tardy rule, so that's partly what you're figuring out this week. So I'm going to explain to you how my tardy rule works. Here's how it works in my class. Your booty has to be sitting in your gray chair at your desk when the bell rings. As long as you're seated at your desk in that chair when the bell rings, then you should be good when I come in. I didn't always used to say you had to be at your desk, but last year I had kids who thought they found a loophole, and they would sit in their chair and then roll their chair around my room to try and avoid being tardy. And I had one kid who sat in his chair and then tried to roll it all the way to his locker to avoid a tardy. And I was like, you are a special little pumpkin, but that is not how things work. But your chair has to be at your desk in order to not be tardy. Jaden.
I had 8 tardies last year.
That's a weird flex. Don't worry. Well, one, we'll talk about that here in a moment. Your tardies don't go from one class to the next. So to make it easier, like if you get a tardy for me and you get a tardy for Mrs. Melling, that's not 2 tardies, that's 1 tardy in each class.
What is that up there?
That's a wall. We'll get to the stuff over there eventually. So I didn't used to have the rule about you having to be seated when the bell rang, but kids have taught me otherwise, and I have a small story for you about how this rule came to be. years ago, when I just had to be in the room. I came into my room one day right as the bell rang, and I had a kid standing over here near where Penelope is, but his seat was over yonder, but he was like standing talking to the kid there, and I had another girl who was on this side, over here where Celeste is, and was like talking to a kid there, and the bell rang, and I came in the room, and both kids freaked out and tried to sprint to their seats, which were on the opposite sides of the room. But both kids continued to turn and talk to their friends as they ran. And you probably see where this is going, because as they ran across the room, I'm standing in the doorway going, ah, and I watched them collide right in the middle, and it sounded like someone took two coconuts, it was like, ka-dong, and hit them together, and they both hit the ground, and they started crying. The problem is, I saw this happen, and I thought it was the most hilarious thing in the world. So I start laughing and pointing at them, and apparently you're not supposed to point and laugh at children when they're crying on the ground, because that's considered wrong. So because of that, I've had to change my rules because I don't like getting yelled at. So now you have to be seated when the bell rings, or I get to crush you.
Okay.
Now, since Jaden has brought up the 8 tardies, here's what happens in my class if you were to get a tardy. We're going to pick on Ricardo. You're my volunteer. Thanks, Ricardo. You're my volunteer bad kid for now. We're going to make believe. Let's say I come in next week and Ricardo is just like walking around my room just poking random things on the wall when I come in. And I'm like, Ricardo, what are you doing? And he was like, poking stuff. And I'm like, ugh, you're tardy. And he's like, what happens? First time you're tardy, everyone makes mistakes. And I go, Ricardo, bad kid bad. Don't do it again. And he'll go, I won't do it again. I go, you're lying. And he goes, uh-huh. And so we get a chance to bond, but that's how learning works. Well, the next week I come into class, and again, this time Ricardo's in his chair. He's like, I'm a boat! And he's just going across my room. And I'm like, Ricardo, what are you doing? And he's like, I'm a boat! And I'm like, ugh. I'm like, you're tardy, Ricardo. And he's like, ugh, bad kid bad? And I go, no, Ricardo. The second time you're tardy is not bad kid bad. The second time you're tardy, you have to write an essay. And the essay is about how you make poor choices and how your poor choices are affecting you. And you have to take the essay home, and the big people in your house have to sign it. And then you have to bring it back where it says, I agree that I should yell at my child more because they're making poor choices in school. And you bring that back to me, and hopefully this solves the problem. But then the next week I walk into my class and I come in and Ricardo's just standing on top of his chair and he was like, I'm George Washington. And I'm like, Ricardo, this isn't even social studies class. I'm like, you're tardy again. And he's like, oh, essay? And I go, no, Ricardo. The third time you're tardy is not an essay. You get a detention. And your detention for me is usually served during lunch because I have a special table called the bad kid table where you have to sit there all by yourself and you get to eat your lunch all by yourself and all the other kids get to laugh at you because of the poor choices you've made in life, and you get to write an essay about all of your poor choices on top of that, and you keep serving a detention every day until I like your essay. The next week I come in, and again, Ricardo's just this time walking around just giving every kid like a little head rub. He's like, you're a puppy, and you're a puppy. And I'm like, Ricardo, what are you doing? He's like, your room is full of puppies. And I'm like, Ricardo, this is your fourth tardy. And he's like, detention? I go, no, Ricardo, not detention. Your fourth tardy, you get sent to the office. They give you like an in-school thing where they like yell at you and hold you after school and like beat you with a fish or something like that. I don't know. Every tardy after that, you just get sent to the office and then they get to deal with you and problems along those lines. The good news is I don't have a lot of tardies. Normally we get into it, you guys sort of figure things out. Most kids will probably get like that one tardy and you get that bad kid bad. Very few kids get to the second one. Rare to get a third one. I think I had maybe one kid get to 4 tardies next year, or last year. And again, as I pointed out for Jaden, it's per class. So like if you're tardy to science, and then tardy to social studies, and then tardy to my class, that's not 3 tardies. That's 1 tardy in each of your classes. So it's a little bit better than I think how Sand Creek was on that one. You would have to be tardy to my class multiple times. So hopefully that helps it better. Thank you for pretending to be a bad kid, Ricardo. That was awful nice of you on that one. So that's how the whole tardy thing works. The other end of class. You may have picked up on the fact I like to talk. I'm like a professional talkist. Really like the sound of my own voice. But at the end of class, when the bell rings, I'll usually do my best to wrap up as quick as I can. But if you stand up to leave while I'm talking, that's incredibly rude. And if you're rude to me, it makes me sad. And if you make me sad, I need to share my sadness with you. And you don't want me to share my sadness with you. So here's what I'll do to help you. When the bell rings at end of class and you want to leave because you're like, 6th period math is better than this, and you want to get out of here, then you need to fill my heart with love. And the way you fill my heart with love is when the bell rings at end of class, you just need to stare at me and smile. Because most of class, you guys just stare at me and blink. But if I can have 22 kids all staring at me and smiling, it fills my heart with an emotion I'm not used to, called love. And all of a sudden, I get all happy and giggly, and I'm like, you guys, and then I let you guys take off. But let's say one of you, your heart is not full of love, and that bell rings, and you're like, 6th period, here I come, and that kid just stands up, and it makes me feel sad. I would prefer to not crush that kid because it may damage them emotionally and put them into therapy. So what we're going to try and do is we're going to try to help them. And this is where you guys come in. If that kid stands up to leave, I need all 21 of the rest of you to point at them and smile. And if there's 21 kids all pointing at one kid and creepily smiling at them, all of your happiness and love comes from your mouth, through your body, out your arm, through the finger, and into them. And you will know their body is getting filled with love because you will see it in their face. It gets really bright red. And that's all the love filling them up. And then they're going to sit back down. And then I don't have to crush them and put them into therapy because you filled them with happiness and love. Now, I'm not real worried about that happening today because most of you guys probably don't like your 6th period teacher yet. But next week, one of you is going to end up having like a 6th period teacher you like better than me. And when that happens, I'll be prepared for you guys to point at them and smile. I don't want you to point at them and laugh. That's mean. And this is a room of happiness. So you're just going to point at them and smile. Laughter's for later. So hopefully we're good to go on that one. Don't make me have to crush again. All right. So some of my classes, I asked this yesterday. I don't think I did in this one. So how many of you guys coming into my room this year had someone tell you something about me or my class before you got here?
Never.
Yay, just curious. All right. You put the hands down on that one. Then my next question is, any of you brave enough to say what was told to you out of curiosity? Ooh, I'm trying to get my names down. It should make, it's not good. Nate!
My brother told me they used to have your talking stick and you'd slap it on your desk whenever someone was talking or something.
It's the English stick of knowledge. And yes, I use my English stick of knowledge to help educate people sometimes in different educational ways. Different kids require different kinds of education. Some kids are going to require a really special education. Other kids... Wow, why indeed. Hi, Jaden.
Funny.
I am kind of funny. Well, they might have lied to you. Some kids don't find me funny at all, but that's also because they're brain dead. What's up, Brinley?
I heard that you were like, not a good teacher.
Ooh, even better. Because I don't teach, or because I stomp on kids' souls, or just like I make kids cry.
Because you're mean.
Oh yeah, that's true. I try, but I've already told you.
I don't agree.
They can think I'm mean. Now given, I will tell you, I am mean to some kids. Those kids that are bad and make poor choices, I'm definitely mean to them. Part of my class is your goal is to figure out if you're the kid that I'm attacking or if you're the kid that's laughing as I'm attacking that kid. And if you're the attacked kid, they probably did think I was mean. But all the other kids are like, no, it was great. He roasted that kid alive. And so it just depends on which side you're on. Hi, Daniel.
Unless told me you had a big forehead.
I do. It's like a 12 head. It goes from like here, like halfway back on my head. It's great. Oh, that was an easy one. Omar?
So when you're telling us about the 3 ways to sitting, I asked my brother, and he was like, the 3 ways were like, put your legs up on my table, and then the other one's like what Tatum was doing.
So, because that's when you had your feet up on poor Mason's desk. Eventually, yes. This goes back to that. You have to wait till I start to like you. Early on day 2. Again, I don't like any of you yet. But eventually, you're going to try to get to the point where you make me like you. And then, yeah, on stuff like that, you can put your feet up. Now, it's up on your own desk. You can't put your feet on Mason's desk. That's going to bother the poor child. But if you put your feet up on your own desk, yeah, I don't usually have a bother with that once we get to the point where I like you. And how do we know if you're at... We're going to talk about that tomorrow. It's coming. We can't have everything in the same day.
Is it raining?
No, it feels good. Addie?
I heard you were nice, funny, and outgoing.
Ooh, I am outgoing. One of the three's not bad. I tend to talk to just random people all the time. Nice, funny looking. We already talked about my forehead, so we're good to go there. I meant my 12 head. Ooh, did you guys talk to the big people in your house last night?
Yeah.
So did you tell them stories about what happened?
Yeah.
So again, here's where if they don't believe you when you come home with stories, you can show them video and go,
I
"Oh,
did.
that man's insane." And you can sit there and play the video, and I'll even show you how to get to it here in a moment. No! I wanted more time with you. Sit down. Omar, are you trying to make me sad? Hi, Daniel. No. When is homework is due tomorrow? No, what homework is due tomorrow?
Monday, the picture.
Yes, you made Adrian be the correct one. The picture is due tomorrow. Go away.